Well, my name is OCJ Okocha. I'm a legal practitioner based here in Port Harcourt, a senior advocate of Nigeria, and a Port Harcourt resident since the year 1970.
My name is Chief Dr. Amy Membre Otaji. Well, I was born in Port Harcourt in the late 50s. Had my primary school in Port Harcourt, Township School then. I'm a Calabari chief, it's called the Dame Piribo II of Calabari, which is the peacemaker of Calabari.
My name is Datom Kiolorson. I'm from River State, and I read law at University of Buckingham, but I don't practice. I'm a practicing businessman in River State.
My name is Dere Faka Gogo Organ, but everybody calls me ambassador. By way of education, I have a first degree from University of Port Harcourt, 1987 economics graduate. Happily married with 4 grown-up children.
A very, very, very welcome group, a very, very welcome movement, because all of us who grew up during our formative years in this city called Port Harcourt remember the spirits with which we resided with ourselves and amongst ourselves. Many of us are indigents of River State. Many of us are also non-indigents of River State, but we all banded together, having met, attending the same primary schools, the same secondary schools, and even the same universities. For me, as one of the more senior members, I started primary school somewhere else. It was from 1970, as I said earlier, that I came to start secondary school in class 3. Form 3, as it was called in those days, at Government Comprehensive Secondary School, Bolokiri, Port Harcourt. It's a movement born out of the love and affection we have for each other. This desire to recreate what Port Harcourt used to be in those good old days. And you know, we had this slogan, and we took it to higher heights when I went to University of Ife. Port Harcourt, peace and harmony. And that was what we were known for. Everybody lived in peace with each other. Everybody lived in harmony with each other. And this movement has now brought in love, because we are now doing things to support ourselves. So I think it is a very, very welcome development. Most cities in this world have forged that kind of harmony, that kind of sense of belonging among its residents. Of course, not too big cities you follow. You may live in Lagos, for instance, and you are in VI, and you don't know who lives in Ikotu area and all those outlying areas. But our own city has remained, you know, this well-knit society. Within 1 hour, you can drive through Port Harcourt, and you remember this was the school where he went to, this was the school where she went to, this was where she resided, this was where you resided. So I'm very, very happy that we have forged this spirit of communality among us, and also commonality. All of us are residents of Port Harcourt, and we want to project the spirit of Port Harcourt as a city that promotes love, peace, harmony, and the united can-do spirit that we want to make our city what we really want it to be.
Well, it's quite a novel and quite a commendable movement or effort that has been initiated, and is gathering momentum. It's every day it's like it burns us, and I haven't seen it anywhere in other majors. I don't think they do it so collectively. Maybe the thinking was when Port Harcourt was small. Port Harcourt was small at the time, post-war, immediate post-war, where Agri Road was the Oxford Street, was the main street of Port Harcourt, where, I mean, we all know, I may be in Baptist High School, but I know the people in Anitonia High School. I knew the people in Government Comprehensive High School. Even in, you know, I knew the girls in Holy Rosary. I knew the girls, you know. So that was how it was. So what this movement has tried to do is to recreate that through a platform. Thank God for technology. So now we recreate. So we come out, of course, a lot of things had been done. You saw even during when the lockdown and COVID, we came out and lent our supports and through palliatives and all that. And then different times, one person or the other comes in need. It's like any problem for one is a problem for all. I think the concept is so unique, and it is something that I pray will last forever.
Yes, it is a movement. It's something that after spending 25, 26 years in England, I came back to Nigeria in about 12, 13 years ago, and I found out that Port Harcourt wasn't the place I left. And I got one or two friends together. Initially, we started by doing a memorial service for 100 of our friends that had gone before their age, before they even attained the age of 50. We did that, and we celebrated that about 3 years ago. And it snowballed into, when I got a friend of mine, Ambassador Organ, it now snowballed into us having a Christmas party and helping people when their parents died. You know, just camaraderie. We didn't look at political parties. We didn't look at where you came from or what religion you belong to. We just decided that we're going to get back the old Port Harcourt, where we all just knew ourselves by our first names and didn't care where you came from. And that's how it snowballed into Port Harcourt City. And so many people have swallowed into the idea, irrespective of their political parties, race, and religion. And we're very happy about that we brought it up, and it's ballooned into a huge affair that a lot of people look forward to anytime we have an occasion.
Yeah, I like that question. Port Harcourt City, when you say it's a movement, it can carry different connotations. People may want to see it as a religious movement or a political movement, but that's not what Port Harcourt City is all about. This city, in the years back, I'm talking about 60s and 70s, was a city that welcomed everybody. It was a city that did not discriminate internally. There was nothing like Ikwere or Kreka, Calabari, or Ogoni. We were all one. It was a city that was built on love, on friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood, commitment to one another. I grew up in this town knowing fully well that I had friends that had my back. If I ran into a problem, I knew who to call. That was the way we grew up in this town. And of course, in the last 10, 15 years, all of those fine elements that used to make this town such a pleasurable and wonderful place to live began to fall apart. So 3 years ago, this movement was born. A few of us came together and said, look, we can't allow this town go down the way it is going. Our children cannot come here. Even those of us that are close to ourselves, our children don't know each other because folks find it very difficult to come to Port Harcourt. Not to talk of, you know, maintaining the friendship and the brotherhood and everything that defined who we are as a city. Particularly the year 2020, this pandemic year, Port Harcourt City One Love, if you are calling organizations that did things to help the poor and most vulnerable in our society, of course, we were out there on the streets, in the villages, in towns, and the poorest places in this in this land to deliver food stuff, to deliver help to those that need it most. This is how Port Harcourt was. An Okreka man's best friend will be an Ikwere man or an other man. A Kalabari man's best friend is an Ogoni man. Ogoni man's best friend is a Bonny man. And you go to these houses, their parents know. This is the Port Harcourt that we are trying to bring about. And I am very optimistic that there is significant work in progress. Under this Port Harcourt City One Love, politics does not define us. Religion is not part of us. We welcome everybody. We welcome everybody. Let us douse all the things that divided us. Let us remove those things and put them to the backyard. Reinforce the things that unify us. Love, friendship, be your brother's keeper, commitment to one another. So we are going to, in the days and years ahead, we're going to be reinforcing the things that unify us as friends, and of course galvanize this city to where we want it to be.
For me personally, are my own goals and aspirations. It took me a long time to determine that I wanted peace of mind, happiness, love, and all those good attributes of humanity surrounding me. I've come through a lot in my not too many long years, but as I said earlier, I'm one of the more senior members, and I like the spirit that people should live in peace and harmony among themselves. So for me, what is paramount in my own life is happiness, and the pursuit of it is part of the American Constitution, the pursuit of happiness. So that is the kind of thing that I think should motivate me and motivates me in whatever I do. As I say, I practice law, but in my practice of law, I know that I run into and meet a lot of people from all walks of life, but I still maintain that in harmonious living, we must do the best we can for our fellow men.
Well, you only God sees the end from the beginning. So I'll say I'll lie if I say I know anything that is certain. But the way it is going, bearing any unforeseen situations, and I hope nothing like that happens. And the way we are going, this team is like gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4. You know, we'll keep getting better, improving and improving, getting higher, getting the bond getting stronger and stronger. I see a situation where we will, and of course after us, our children, and then it will just be something that would outlive us.
I know for sure that the way it has snowballed, even most people in there are thanking so many people that they didn't believe that this type of relationship can exist in River State. And I know that the powers to be are aware of what we're doing. And I'm sure inside their mind, they are delighted as well. And we believe that with the strength to which it's going, it can only get better. And our ultimate aim is to make River State a safe place for our children and our grandchildren.
There are two things that can be achieved. The first part is the superficial, of course, all the, the basic stuff that we're doing, which is, I consider it basic. Somebody's parents die, we all come together, contribute money, piece of cake. We're doing that. I think 2021, 2022, with the wrong rate, we've moved from basic contribution for burials. We are going into, or we've gone into really helping folks who are in deep trouble. There are some that are off mic, people who have challenges of house rent, employment. I consider those things basic. The more granular things will be Port Harcourt City One Love, using the resources within our ecosystem. There's no reason why Simbe Wabote, who is the Executive Secretary of Local Content and the regional Port Harcourt boy, will not tell us, will not come, maybe a breakfast session, discuss with city dwellers, you know, on the opportunities using that local content framework in the oil and gas industry. There's no reason why Obina Anaba, Port Harcourt City Boys Sector 2, who left Shell as Executive Director, Human Resource, and is now with the NNPC in the Human Resource Department there, to come and tell people about retirement plans. Most of our people were all entering that retirement stage. You know, let Obina, using that vast experience, take a day, come and discuss with city folks, plans for retirement, investment, pension, all of those sort of things. There's no reason why Albert Wigwe, Group CEO, Port Harcourt Primary School boy, Rumobekwe Housing Estate, is done very well for the Nigerian banking landscape. A brother like that should come and sit down with his fellow brothers and sisters and tell us, what does it take to invest? What does it take to run a small business? What does it take to put our women, what can they do? It's doing so much for Lagos, you know, in terms of women in business, the kind of facilities they give to them and everything to promote that gender that has been so dehumanized. Let our brother come and tell us what he can do for city folks. So what am I saying? The more granular things will be using these resources within our ecosystem to do things that will uplift economically, you know, and financially some of the city dwellers that we see. And of course, it's not for want of trying that they are at the backward end of things, but I believe if we're able to pull all of these resources together, I see in the next 5 years, city folks, you know, really stepping up and skilling up and answering the call of duty in terms of financial freedom and economic emancipation.